Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Yes, let's dance. Come on, let's dance. Come on, let's dance. Not in the business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving up away. Yeah, yeah. We coming, yeah. Well, it's gonna be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. Anywhere we meet up, stick. Well, it's gonna be coming. Yeah, you coming, yeah. We coming. Well, it's gonna be coming.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. And if you listen to me, please give me a thumbs up. I will be on the bridge. I will be appearing on the bridge by 8 o'clock, so I'm not going to take too long. But I just want to clarify something. That is why I don't like to be panelist on a show where we got a lot of people. If I'm controlling the show and I get people on, it's good. And I met a very smart lady. Her name is Kula. She's from the UP. And I used the word betrayed. She said, no, it should be betrayed. Good. Thanks for the correction. But throughout the show, I heard her pronouncing the word listen. She said, Sam Jackson, listen. In the word listen, it's not listening, it's listen. The T is silent. I'm not an English person, but I know these are things that, but when you ask her, she might end up pronouncing it well. But throughout there, she said listen. You could hear the T. You're not listening. She said that. It's listen. The T is silent. You don't say listen. You say listen. So I said, Joseph Barker betrayed her. She said, oh no, don't use the word betrayed her. It's betrayed. Thank you very much. English is not, we all make mistakes, but I accept it. So I'm not an English guy. But what I'm trying to say is, UP, they will print, they will make everything look good. They will tell you what you want to hear right now. But we know within ourselves, Joseph Newman Boaka did everything. I call that, let me put in a simple word, user. He's a user. You know, people who use people for their own benefit came into the CPP, went through Yombly, Dillon, and other people to destroy the CPP. And we said it, we talk it. But guess what? I will not blame Dillon. I will not blame Yombly. I will not blame these guys because they were sincere to Mr. Boaka. But just within a month today, Mr. Boaka gave us 360. 360. And Dutch, his people at the wayside, and chose Jeremiah Kuhn. And chose Jeremiah Kuhn. Okay, fast forward. You listen to Spoon today. I was right on the argument here. And I want to say this. Don't be discouraged. Prince Johnson, he's a pathological liar. He's a killer. This is a man who stand on the pulpit and try to call the name of God. Whether he's talking to the real God, I don't know. Lying and talking about Mr. Cummings gave him 50,000. So let me tell you how Prince Johnson, he's a liar. Prince Johnson, now today, Prince Johnson is saying that Mr. Cummings gave him 50,000 to support him. But the other day he said Mr. Cummings gave him 50,000 towards his school. Then they asked him for you to, so he said, no. It was not because of that. But he said, I would not support Mr. Cummings because Mr. Cummings advocate for gay. It's the same reverend who said his mouth is not a prayer book. I'd rather stay with the angel, the devil I know, than the angel I have not seen. He said it in Niba County in favor of George Weah. But Mr. Prince Johnson is looking for every loophole. Jeremiah Kuhn is a young man. He struggled his life to make life easy. He did everything. But his godfather is Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson made it clear on Spoon that Jeremiah Kuhn will not do anything without me. Oh, yes, the ANC people talking to Jeremiah Kuhn. Yes. But I get it straight, there's no ANC. It's CPP. Now, Mr. Cummings was not going to go down low to allow Prince Johnson to dictate, like what he did to George Weah. And today, Mr. Bwaka gave DeLong, Yombly the middle finger and Costa, who stood by him because the United Party was dead. And let me ask you something. What is the difference between George Weah and Mr. Bwaka? George Weah refused and have not had any interview with journalists. Mr. Bwaka is the same thing. Do not have an interview with anybody. The damage is done. Guys, go home. Go home to your party. We are not enemies. There's no permanent enemies in politics. Yes, we got differences. We all made a mistake. I insulted you, you insult me. We all did it together. But we can fix it. The Unity Party is not the alternative. And guess what? Now they are pretending to be in a collaboration with these people. That is the same mistake they are making. Oh, I only support, we are in a collaboration, but they are doing it in a UP way. Liberians, we cannot bring UP back to power. UP cannot come back to power. That means we don't know what we want for future. The government, they were there for 12 years. They turned it over to CDC because of change. We rejected them. If this man cannot take responsibility, this man is a user. He cannot take responsibility of the Unity Party work that he did. How can a man lead? And I listened to Kula. We're on the same show. Oh, Mr. Bwaka never promised anyone. That's a lie. Mr. Bwaka promised Yombly, I will make you my vice president. Lately, he talked to Karen Costa. Yes. But you see that the mistake every one of them make, because they were anxious to get out of the CPP, they refused to sign an agreement with UP. So are they telling me that you will only support UP? She said there will be some people with their own thing, they're supporting UP in the mouth, but there is no agreement. So who's desperate? Where's the platform? Can UP transform the lives of the Liberian people? No. No. Joseph Bwaka is not ailing. Joseph Bwaka has zero contact. After he left office, I've been proving zero contact. Prince Johnson telling people now, oh, we are heartbeat to the presidency. That's what he's telling people. This old man, deceitful. He's ungrateful. He's ungrateful. I disagree with Costa. I disagree with Yombly. I disagree with DeLong. But that's not how you treat people. They went out to the program today. They never show up. I made a post. I said, ALP will not be there. Some people start insulting. Oh, your comments, you're stupid. Look at Dr. Francis is on your own spoon, my people. You got a criminal or may have been indicted or criminal Stanton sitting there insulting Mr. Cummings. Wow. These guys are the politics, but they will get it. They will get it one by one. If you are not afraid of Alex Cummings, you are not insulting. But because you are afraid of the power of Alex Cummings is the cleanest candidate. You will never ever compare Mr. Bwaka with Alex Cummings. No way. No way. When I see other surrogates think that they can use the English word and insult other people instead of sticking to the issues, Unity Party got no record. They can't even run on Ellen Johnson's record because Ellen Johnson has the record. Ellen Johnson is the one who did things. Mr. Bwaka refused to acknowledge Ellen. He has zero record. Nothing you can show that Bwaka did for the last 12 years. He's a dishonest man. And he's proven. DeLong, Yombly, you go home. Do not allow your voice to lose. Do not allow yourself to be used again. We are all in this thing together. We want clean country. We want a decent government. A government for our people. Not the same government Prince Johnson wants us to push a war crime called Esau, and Mr. Barker is willing to do that. Mr. Barker gave the American his middle finger. Eh? Oh, yes, some people say crime is not transferable. Nobody said Jeremiah Kuhn is the killer. But according to Helen Costa, they said Jeremiah Kuhn sell parts. And there were people in Liberia who said him in parts. Yes, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Prince Johnson, he's a notorious killer. We know that. The other day he was in bed with George Weah. He said that I'd rather stay with the devil I know than the angel I've not seen. Because George Weah refused to give him money. So now he went to Mr. Barker. Mr. Barker guaranteed him. And you, Prince Johnson, will get a audacity to stay on and say, but you should be proud that a Liberian contributed $25,000, not $50,000. There is no way Mr. Cummings will give you $50,000. You must be out of your mind. $25,000 towards your school. You wrote and you admitted on Spoon that it was towards your school education. It was not last year. It was when you were building the school. But a criminal will always be a criminal. The man who is sitting there today, using Fagon, he said, if anybody supporting Mr. Bwakalami, you got a brain tumor. So Fagon right now got a brain tumor. He's suffering from what? In Indonesia? What he suffering from? He got Alzheimer's. If you get a corrupt and criminal like Stanton on Spoon supporting PYJ, what is the war crime? What is the integrity? Bunch of useless people who want to see Liberia, who think Liberia is a place that you can just throw any day. But we will change that country. Alex Cummings is the next president of Liberia. You can go up and come down. The record, the ranking is on the wall, but you still can't see it. Even if we don't want UP, if we don't want CDC that UP will carry, you think Liberians are stupid people? To show that UP are users, they're refusing to sign or document to change the name UP to some collaboration. I listened to the press lady, the director of press, Miss Kula. She said, I asked the question, will you change the name? You going into a collaboration. You go into a collaboration, but you want to use them like what you did to Costa. What UP was dead. General Costa resuscitated them. Eh? But you know what I like about them? Instead of sticking to the issue, you attack personality. I listened to George Lobo. He said he can't apologize. You don't need to apologize. You telling Samuel Jackson, you do nothing. Samuel Jackson is 70 years old, smarter than you, gone in life, get things for himself. That is right to support the government if you want to. Politics is not religion, but we must be very careful what we say. And he came back today and mentioned that Mr. Cummings fingered a document. But the last time, remember, Mr. Cummings defeated. Oh, I want to put there again. I'm going to say defeat. Nonsense. Mr. Cummings defeated them at the courthouse. Joseph Numa Bwaka is so dishonest and lie on an oath. Lie on an oath. I don't know Mr. Cummings. Yes, Mr. Cummings did this. And they threw the case out. The last time, remember, is the Unity Party that lied to the Liberian people and left. And left. But we will destroy you, trust me. Trust me. You ain't seen nothing yet. You say opposition unity, in our opposition unity more. You ain't seen nothing yet. You use good people. Good people. You parading with Prince Johnson. You won't compare Prince Johnson with Louis Brown? Louis Brown can travel. Prince Johnson can travel? No. The last time, remember, Prince Johnson on session. I will be joining the bridge by 8 o'clock. The last time, remember, the Americans said they will arrest Prince Johnson. But Louis Brown can go anywhere. You want to compare Prince Johnson with Louis Brown? Prince Johnson will be happy. Will be happy. Be living in space. Be living in denial that you will win Nimba County. UP. It's a simple thing. The case is easy. The case is easy. This election is between George Weah and Alex Cummings. Even if George Weah loses the election, he will rather lose the election to Alex Cummings than to lose it to Joseph Boakai, with the bunch of corrupt people who are sitting there right now to choose what they want, as if they're entitled to leadership in Liberia. 12 years. Madam Sirleaf did her best. She tried. She put the government together. Leaving, her vice president came in and refused to acknowledge the little good that she did for the country, and then tell us what was wrong. But when they come, George Lobo said, I'm going to teach you a little bit. Article 51 of the Constitution spell out the description of the vice president. But what he forgot to tell us, the vice president is or had beat to the presidency. The vice president, in my little man term, is the first advisor to the president. He is the last man or woman that sits in the office of the president after cabinet meeting. The vice president attends every cabinet meeting. The vice president is also part of the executive, and the vice president is the president of the Senate. The vice president is the eye of the president to the Senate. The vice president breaks the tie. And if there is no tie, he's got nothing to do. But if there's a tie, the vice president will vote in favor of the government. We're not stupid, little boy. Don't do that. That is how you fool the people in Liberia. That is how you destroy our country. That is how you destroy our country. The vice president has oversight responsibilities of certain things. Like in Liberia, I know about the lottery, Group of 77, and other stuff. Or the president gave you an assignment. Yes, the vice president appointment, but the president consults the vice president before making an appointment. Unless the vice president and the president are in good terms. How do you think that Ellen Johnson appointed Joseph Boakai's son in 2009? Because Joseph Boakai recommended his son to Ellen, and Ellen appointed him as commissioner. How? And it's a fair game. Mr. Boakai is a public figure. He's not no ordinary person. Mr. Boakai said it. He said, I have a pacemaker. Pacemaker controls your heart. It mean that you get heart attack right now. But anything goes wrong, you done. So you're not the same anymore. You can never tell me, or man, and I listen to some of them. You see, these are some of the things we're talking about. When it comes to UP, oh, it's fine. The other day when Mr. Cummings named his team, UP were all over the place talking about Ben Nye. It was talking about Louis Brown and this and that. But today they are in bed with Prince Johnson. We will accept. You see what? You see, this is what you guys don't understand. We can accept or support from anyone because Prince Johnson is a voter. But the damage has been done. But I advised you guys before. Prince Johnson was able to shut his mouth. Prince Johnson said it on Spoon, and we'll play that tape, that Jeremiah Kuhn will not make no decision without him. And Jeremiah Kuhn said it. I would love to go with Cummings, but I need the blessing of Prince Johnson. And Mr. Cummings, no way. And if Mr. Cummings was going to do that, if Mr. Cummings, I always used to say but I can't end the but. If Mr. Cummings were going to sit in the room with Prince Johnson and then it happens, no. I was not going to be in that. If I was to sit in a place where Jeremiah Kuhn is with Mr. Cummings and then I see Prince Johnson hanging all over Cummings, I done. Look, I don't care. We can lose the election. But we must speak the truth. That's why I'm behind Mr. Cummings. That's why I believe in Cummings. For a little boy like George Lobo to compare, Mr. Cummings got no record. Mr. Cummings don't know how to make decisions. Oh, Mr. Cummings, the best CPP leader ever. It was the Cummins chairmanship that brought every one of you to light. It was the chairmanship of Alex Cummins that brought the CPP today to life. You can't even acknowledge that there's a CPP, but you just what you did say, well, I should put it. I want you something. You push Yombi under the bus. You stood by her when they had a thing with Liberty Party. But by the time you notice that she lost the case. Bam, you say, Lombi, you on your own. But if Yombi are going to win, you are going to choose Yombi. Because all the plans is to damage Cummins. All the plans is to damage Cummins. They are the one who make vice president important, not us. It's because of the UP that make vice president pick so important that today you could see that Jeremiah Kuhn overshadow the vice president, the candidate. He got no choice. You listen to her. Oh, we're looking for a vote-rich county. We will win Nimba County. Mr. Bwaka will win Lofa County. And then what else? You will win Monserrado? You sure? Will you win Banga? You sure? Hello? Are you sure you can win Banga? Oh, Prince Moyo will give you Banga. What do you think? You can't even win Lofa County. You got to be careful. This election between us and CDC. We voted for change. We want to remove George Weah for his incompetencies. But not you they're going to bring back. You got supporters. I give it to you. That's your day. I will not sit here and pretend as if it was not a good day for UP. Yes, it was a good day for you. I agree. It was a good day. But that crowd can scare me. That crowd you pull up cannot scare me. Because according to you say people came from all over. People came from, sometimes when this, today on the argument, on the closing argument, I spoke 2 times, I think 2 or 3 times. And the only thing she took from out of it was the war betrayed it. It's going to be betrayed. I said betrayed it. Okay, fine. But she was using the war, listening. She's a professor. She's a lecturer at the university. But instead of saying listen to me, Sam Jackson, she was saying, listen, y'all go and watch the show. I just laugh. When they got nothing to say, when you push them to the wall, then they tell you, say, oh, you know this one, you know that. I can debate any damn person on the issue. You don't know it. I'm not running for office. You might say I'm going to discuss the economy. But I can sell anything, any product. That's why I told Lobo, you don't disrespect people when you're speaking. You don't tell people like you're afraid of me, you're scared of me while we're arguing. So I told him, he said that nonsense. But maybe he understands the word nonsense. He thinks, I say, oh, try to be professional. Nonsense is something that has no sense. That I will be afraid of you. You myself talking. You speak, I speak. You try to, you have the blessing of the host because it's a UP thing. I check all the time. He spoke for 4 or 5 minutes. And before I could reach 90 seconds, I have to be cut off. But that's a good thing. That's why I got my own. And that's why other people call me on their own to use it. So I will be on the bridge. But let me tell you guys, don't be afraid. And as I said, we don't have permanent enemies in politics. Yombly, Dillon will go back to the party. The damage has been done. If these guys think that you can go back, look, you can't fool one man twice. You can't do that. You fool the man for the first time, you can't come back and fool the man. You can. Look, let me tell you something. I want you to open your eyes. UP is not serious. UP is a user. They still want to use the name UP, but they say they are in collaboration. The same thing that happened to CDC today. CDC in collaboration, but instead of using good name, they use the Coalition for Democratic Change. So all in their mind is CDC, Congress for Democratic Change. But you see the CPP, it got nothing that carry ANC. It has nothing that carry Liberty Party. It's collaboration political party. But they themselves, she admitted that, oh, the lawyers working on it. Where was Jeremiah Kuhn when Henry Costa were insulting Mr. Cummings because of Mr. Bwaka? Where was Jeremiah Kuhn when Yombly Kanga and Dillon had to break up from the party? Where was Jeremiah Kuhn? He's a good guy, don't get me wrong, but he's corrupt. Jeremiah Kuhn is corrupt. He's received the money. He distributed the money. Jeremiah Kuhn stole the election in 20 against Ida Gonglo. Ida Gonglo supported Mr. Bwaka. If Mr. Bwaka cannot even accept Gonglo, because Gonglo is too radical for him. So they want for people to, they don't have no monopoly, man, please. They suffer from entitlement syndrome. They're not entitled to it. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them scare you. Don't let them scare you. It just started. Now we know the team. Now we know what to tell them. They are the one who make the whole vice president business too important. The last time, remember, they are the one who say Mr. Cummings should go with Mr. Bwaka. If Mr. Cummings was nobody, but you were all over the place, oh, Mr. Cummings don't want to go. Why are you forcing Mr. Cummings to go? Now, Mr. Cummings refused to go according to you. But you're only in a collaboration. You push them aside. Within no time, just 1 month ago, and Jeremiah Kuhn was at a program with George Weah. Prince Johnson was speaking. I'd rather stay with the devil I know than the angel I haven't seen. Because of that, George Weah refused to bring the war crime in court. Will Mr. Bwaka bring the war economic crime court? No. Do you think Jeremiah Kuhn want to sit there and see his father, his godfather? No. Yes, he's a puppet to Prince. Prince said it. That boy will never make no decision on me. No. That's why he appointed Jeremiah Kuhn as a center bearer. Pay to play. My people, do you think that UP got the solution for our problems? I don't know the platform. Lobo said we should sell our candidate platform. You know, you see, a young man who is depending on an older guy who think that we're supposed to compensate him because he served 12 years in government and can show nothing. What Mr. Bwaka championed in the last 50 years in Liberia? I dare somebody to tell me. What Mr. Bwaka championed in Liberia? At least Mr. Cummings got his footprints all over the country. You might say that, oh, because Mr. Cummings wanted to run for president, that's why he's doing it. Oh, good. Good. But what you should understand, when Mr. Cummings worked, he was never going to do anything. He resigned. He retired before he got into politics. Mr. Bwaka, through all his life, he worked to the will and pleasure of someone. And Ellen Johnson chose him. He never ran for the Senate. He never ran for representative. He ran for president one time and he was defeated. When he was in a ruling party where he had a chance to do it, the people rejected him. Liberians, you cannot bring UP back to power. This election, we must remove George Weah, not to remove President Weah with another corrupt group. A group who think that they can steal, we can do the work, but we will steal. We cannot replace President Weah with UP. You know that. They are afraid of Mr. Cummings. They will never tell you what agenda Mr. Cummings has that will not benefit the Liberians. They're only concerned about themselves. They say, oh, Mr. Bwaka got the answer. Mr. Bwaka don't have the answer. Mr. Bwaka don't use the word we. But Mr. Cummings' agenda is clear. Over and over we are saying, Mr. Cummings will not bribe you. And we don't expect UP, the people that show up, don't let them scare you. They're nothing. They squeezed themselves up in a small little cartoon. That is why there were many. They should have shown to us, go to ATS. Then we know you're serious. Go to ATS. The best seat in the house when you're watching TV, you don't know that? Blocking the road, going all over the place, walking with a t-shirt. You say break the record of CDC. That's why CDC is saying that. Then George Lobo got the guts to say that we pay people to go to our tire rally. These are the deceitful people. These are the ones who undermine and make Mr. Boyka look like a fool. A young man. Mr. Boyka was at the hall in Philadelphia. George Lobo gave him Mr. Boyka answer. Or tell the people, say, and it's good. But he was caught right-handed. These are the people who want to take power. But they are very dishonest. This is my friend. But he's dishonest. He's dishonest. A young man praying for government job. That when Mr. Boyka president, I'm going to be one deputy minister to finance. That's why he put a resume out there and act that he's the economist. Then you want to challenge Sam Jackson. Look, my man, let me tell you, whether you are in 2005 election, you disrespected him. That's why I called you out. You don't need to apologize. You said Mr. Jackson did nothing. Mr. Jackson was part of the revolution that we're enjoying today. He was one of the youngest. Let's be honest. You know, sometimes when I debate with people, I don't go personal with you. I would talk about Mr. Boyka. I would talk about any political leader. But I would talk about anybody who tried to go across the line. Like criminal sentence who will sit on a platform and think he can just insult people. Because when in Liberia, this nonsense happened. When in Liberia, if it was a decent country, Mr. Boyka would never be in politics. He would never. There's nothing to show, my people. You just want him. You just need him. But Mr. Boyka has not shown any leadership from the CPP to present. And what he did, he betrayed. You know, she showed me the one I was trying to be careful. She said, I shouldn't have betrayed it. Somebody made a comment. They said, oh, they reduced the general rank to corporal. You see, people don't understand me. If I go on a show and I'm not the host, I don't argue easily until you give me my time. I only call her out when she gave George Lobo 2 times because George Lobo met me on the show and she gave George Lobo the flow to give his introduction. Then before she came to me. And then when she left from me, it was supposed to go to the next person. She gave it back to George Lobo. So I told her, I said, no. I said, no. After George Lobo finished, you were trying to get to somebody. I said, nope, I would take it because you would not do that. And thank God she gave it to me. But these guys, what they don't understand this election, they think that we're just going to talk about commies. But you saw what happened today? They and CDC will go at it. They and CDC, everything that this CDC government is doing, everything the CDC government is doing, they took it from UP playbook. They dig hole and cover hole. It started with them. But because George Weah failed to do the work, that is why all these things exposed, and God knows the reason why George Weah became president. But all these things used to happen before. So you see, what UP is saying, that we stole money, but we did the work. So y'all give it back to us. No. UP took the debt to $900 million. We all were mad. Because CDC took it to $2 billion. Oh, they got a shoulder up. CDC government was corrupt. Ellen Johnson's son was corrupt. Yes, she was doing the work. Yes, she had a contact, but they were corrupt. Mr. Boyka's office was too corrupt. In the budget, in the what do you think is the report, the 2000 we in 23, the 2019, 20 audit report. Waka name is in there, his office. But because CDC is so corrupt and can't do the work, UP telling the Liberian people that they won't come back to power. Why would you bring them back to power? We rejected them. They tried 12 years. They got no plans. The first plan was roll. The second plan was art. Now it's rat. Yeah, rat. Road, agriculture, tourism, sanitation. There's nothing for infrastructure, just a road. They can't tell you. Let Mr. Bwaka show us his agriculture plan for Liberia. He's an agriculturalist. Let him show us the plan for Liberia. He can show you. Now they're saying, oh, you must win to lead. Oh, no. You're making a big mistakes. So you wouldn't want to win. We should give you a blank check. You just vote for me. You will see what I will do. But you can't tell us what you will do, but you want to win. So in your mind, living in a denial war, Mr. Bwaka will win Lofa County and Jeremiah Kun will give us Nima County. And Prince Moi will give us Banga. For the Bassa people, I'm telling you today. Listen, Yombly, somebody posted say, oh, Mr. Cummings is on his knees begging Yombly. Any way you want to put it. Go back to your party. We can still work together. The two parties in Liberia that can make the change is the ANC and the Liberty Party, or the Liberty Party and the ANC. I'm not disrespecting other parties, but you got the best candidate, or candidate that will not fall for anything. You're supposed to know Mr. Cummings by now. Or candidate who we think, oh, because he don't understand Liberian politics because he refused to bribe. But Prince Johnson got in mind after he admitted that Mr. Cummings gave him money for his school. He said 50,000. You increase the money. Why should Mr. Cummings give you 50,000? The letter you sent, I wish they could just publish it. But it's not something for even Cummings to even listen to. So, okay, let's say this. Mr. Cummings gave him 50,000 for support. But I ate Mr. Cummings' money. I never supported him. So who the criminal? So Mr. Prince Johnson is a $4-1. Let's agree that Mr. Cummings gave him $50,000. It's not against the thing. Oh, Mr. Prince Johnson, I will help you so you can support me. He ate the money. He ate George Weah money too. Now he coming to Mr. Bwaka because he believed that Mr. Bwaka would be the president. In his mind, that they have believed that if George Weah is not the president, Mr. Bwaka will be the president. So let me just stay with Mr. Bwaka. So Mr. Bwaka would not, he would just play around it, but never bring the Rawcam coat. But what would surprise you all? And to Stanton, you're not going for election. You are not voting in Liberia. This election will pass by you. You can cry and do. That is why you delay your sentence. That is why you spending money delaying your sentence that you want to be talking before the election. So you try to delay your sentence and tell your lawyers to push the case until December. Look at you. Look at you. So you think that they will delay the case, then you will be able to talk. When the Mr. Bwaka win, then when they deport you back, or you tell them, say, oh, you deport me, also, I will go back to Liberia. You lying, Center. Bwaka will not be president of Liberia. I want more than I hold the Bible. But Liberians cannot bring UP back to power. You can't bring UP back to power. This election is between new faces. Someone with new ideas and George Weah. Someone with new ideas. Someone who is willing to unite the country. The first thing, you're not willing to unite. UP is not willing to bring us together. Madam Celine said that she failed to unite Liberians. She failed on corruption. But now UP is carrying a tribalistic person to be the president. Or man who believe that only Lofa County. And he can use other people. And they sign no document. You know, you read them. Look, it is time for reconciliation. It is time for reconciliation. It is time for reconciliation. It is time for you. You want to go to CDC? It's up to you. It is your right. And Costa, it is your right. You want to go to CDC? Fine. But it is time for reconciliation. Yes, you are with Mr. Bwaka, but you wanted a change. And you thought Mr. Bwaka was going to get a change. As much as I didn't want you to be Mr. Bwaka VP, and my honest opinion was Yombly. My honest opinion. Although I was arguing about it and making it look as if, because I believe that Mr. Bwaka was going to make the wrong choice. He did it 2017. He brought Nukwe, the most corrupt representative. He brought Nukwe in. Okay, guys, I think it's 8 o'clock. I don't want to. Oh boy, I just forgot it.